Soon we're going to say hello, YouTube. Today we're going to talk about why the listing agents' clients are frequently winning. Right now, we happen to be in the middle of a very low inventory market. I believe demand is really high. I did a video while I was hiking this morning explaining it, and I sent maybe people will be coming to this page. And I just wanted to give us a quick review, and then I'm going to talk about how we can do something about it. But what happens is the very best homes are frequently over improved for a neighborhood. The professional realtors in that neighborhood know it, and as soon as it goes on the market, they're calling the listing agent up and they're trying to secure the property for themselves. Or if they're not going to buy it themselves and they're experiencing now what they're doing, they're going to try to secure it for their client, but that's going to be a reach for them because competing against their clients are going to be the buyers who have lost out in multiple bidding offers before and realize they need to work with a listing agent. And many buyers have come to that conclusion because when you have a nice home, your phone rings off the hook with buyers who understand the process, professional buyers who are buying as investors or for flips if it's a property that needs renovation, and you have a good property and it's reasonably priced, and really sometimes it's at the max it can bear, but the property's so beautiful it's not likely to get 20% over the market like it deserves because people have improved the backyard and the pool. The views are crazy. You just know that the banks aren't going to lend on that, so you'd have to find a cash buyer who really wants to overpay. So usually you wind up going with, as a listing agent, I've coached my clients, you want someone who recognizes the value, has the cash to close, isn't going to be ticky-tacking you on the inspections. In fact, I'm going to make them commit to that ahead of time, and I'm going to believe them, right? I mean, they have to convince me that they're going to close on this property if they want to get to the front of the line. Then when I'm talking to my sellers, I'm like, hey, we could probably go on with this and ladder people up. But at some point, you're going to chase a lot of these buyers away, and you've got this nice buyer here. Let's not ignore them. Let's ladder these other people up, then come back to this person, and I'd let them be the winner if they outbid the ladder, or even if they come close. Like, if you want a sure thing so you can start moving on with your life, these people might be worth letting them win for a couple $1,000s less. I mean, it's up to the clients. Some clients want absolute $10. I had a best friend, a really good friend, who absolutely wanted top dollar no matter what, even though it was a much more tenuous buyer who had to sell their own home first, because it was just important to them that they were selling for a particular price to prove something to a different realtor. So, I mean, you never know, and I'm okay with that, but that is the whole point, that in this market, I mean, home just sold, got 20 multiple offers down the street from my house in Poway a few weeks ago. My wife was very interested in the home and was keeping track of it. And she said that the listing agent said that they had 20 offers. Why is that happening? It's because we have low inventory and low interest rates. And I noticed a shift about 30 or 60 days ago with my phone. The professional agents started texting and buying, asking if I had any inventory because for a while, and I may still have it, I had a pipeline of fixer-uppers that were coming from some real estate attorneys, and sometimes I have properties to sell, and these professional buyers, the renovators, want in, so I'm still on their text lists, and my phone started blowing up a few weeks ago. Well, 30 to 60 days ago. I'd say about 30 days ago, it started to be like a few times a week from different people. I think they're thinking the risk is worth it. And I'm not telling anyone to buy right now if they're not wanting to buy, because there are still risks. Yeah, we have the risk that COVID could become more serious, and some of the states and some maybe even I don't know. I don't want to get into politics right now. I'm totally willing to do that, but it's not right now. Let's just say there's a risk of shutdown. Then I can't foresee. There's always exogenous potential shocks to the system. Market collapses, price of oil spike because of things, war. I mean, the market could change. Interest rates could shoot up. In fact, that I think drives the market right now. It's been driving it for 10 or 15 years. Interest rates are low, prices go up. Interest rates go up, prices stabilize or maybe even start leaking down. It's a very much dependent on, let's just take $1 million house for an example. Someone's going to qualify for X amount of payments a month. Let's say that you are qualified to, your income allows you to make a $5,200 a month payment a month. So that might leverage you up on interest rates up to an $800,000 mortgage. You have the $200,000 to put down. Boom, you're a $1 million house buyer. Now, if interest rates went down even lower to the point where you could now get $850,000, $900,000 in payments. Pretty soon the market adjusts because you'll be buying that same $1 million house for that same payment. So that $1 million house is now going to be 1.1. That's what's been happening. In addition to normal price appreciation and the dollar losing value, and I know that's hard to say in a basket. I don't even need to get into all the economics of it. So anyway, that's the background, and now we're going to talk about how you can actually. And I'm glad. So I'm going to get right into it now. These are the things that I would do based on buying for myself, based on a guy in my office, Phil, a fantastic agent, helped me once. I have so many stories. I'm going to try to keep the stories to a minimum, but so many stories about how Phil, working with the listing agents, making calls, getting the information, has helped me close deals. I'm going to apply that, and then I'm going to talk to you about exactly what happens when the professional buyers are calling me when I'm listing people, and how you can apply this for yourself. And then in the very end, I know many people still want to have a buyer's agent to be protected. Let me just say, for a host of reasons, buyer's agents are not the way to go. And I will be setting up a training course, but for people who want one-on-one training now. So I won't even go group training, but I'm going to keep answering your questions. So it's going to be like one-on-one until they're answered and you feel comfortable. I'm going to help you through this course so I can have the course later. So I'm going to give you an opportunity really to work with me to get the job done and feel protected, especially if you're in California. In California, I can help you as an agent because I'm a broker and an attorney. If you're outside of California, I can help you leverage the fact that I'm a referral agent, and you'll see this in the training why it works. Okay, so I think I just sort of explained top agents. When I've got great homes, top agents will call me. Even agents who live in the area will all of a sudden are like buying for themselves, or they're going to invest in the property and flip it out and sell it for more in the future. They'll call, and almost every professional buyer, almost every agent, very quickly after building rapport, which is pretty easy, why they're serious in the area, why they're prepared, why they'll close if you come to a deal with them because I understand the market, and then talking to me about, hey, what's going on, then they get right to the point. Hey, do you have any competition do I have any competition right now? Have you received any offers? Are you expecting any offers? Are you going to be representing any buyers in this transaction right now, or do you want to? Are you willing to? So they're trying to get a feel based on it's a conversational thing, but based on, like, if I say, yeah, we've got 4 or 5 offers already in there right now, they'll just say, hey, are you representing any? I really want to know my competition. I'm experienced agents are going to share this information. It only helps their client, especially if you're an agent and you've already got a listing offer or pretty close. Then you're going to say, hey, well, we already got a pretty strong offer in here. I'm more than willing to represent you, but I think you're going to have to come in near the listing price or even higher. I mean, at some point when you have sufficient belief that you have 1 or 2 great buyers, a listing agent should try to ratchet up. You should shop your offers against new potential buyers. You want to make sure some offers come in, because the last thing you want to do is start negotiating and have no one submit an offer. But once you have offers in hand, then it's time to write. That's what good agents do. Bad agents are like, oh, I can't tell you. Good agents discuss with themselves and say, hey, now it's time to shop offers because I feel pretty good about this. It could always go south. They could always back out. So we're going to try to give you an even stronger offer that I will love and recommend strongly to you. But let's shop them right now. I mean, that's what a good agent does with their clients. It's not unethical. There's so many debates on the internet. It's just, I don't know where. I'm an attorney and a broker. I can't think for the life of me why, if I'm an agent for my seller and I've got permission to shop the offer, why it would be wrong of me to check up buyers? It's like, what? That's not the point of a negotiation. That's not the point of a multiple offer negotiation. But there's so much bad information on the net. If you go out and search this up, you might not, but I'm really into the market, how things work, and how to do best for my clients. So that's the first thing. So we're taking the phone calls, and the agents are getting a feel for their competition. So then the next step is, this is also sort of a rapport builder if you do it right. You're like, well, I've looked at Zillow, I've looked at Realtor.com, I've looked at CoreLogic. I am not going to get into that, but I can get on one of my websites. This CoreLogic is right there in the tremendous pricing algo. CoreLogic, or I know the area pretty well. The house down the street sold for that. It had more square feet. They are on the view side of the street, so I'm just wondering Not that in any way I'm challenging you because I haven't been in the property, but I'm wondering how was the pricing arrived at? And an agent may tell you, may not. But that whether they do or they don't, that's the next question. Well, what are the sellers looking for? Are they looking to move out quickly and know that the buyer that submits an offer is going to close? Like, is that important to them? Are they just purely seeking top dollar? Are they looking for someone who's flexible on repairs? And again, professional agents have already talked to their clients about this. Experienced agents will be happy to share to try to get a bit better, stronger offer. But let's say that they're closed mouth. Well, at that point in time, you might say, well, if I were working with you, do you think we could have an open up line of communication with permission from your seller so that I can craft an offer that will help them win? Because let me tell you, if we put some time into this, if I come to the property and I like it, I'm going to buy it, and I want to put some time into this, and I want the seller to be happy. And of course, I'd like to be happy, but I think making this house will make me happy. So I understand the process. I don't want to ticky-tack back and forth with inspections. I want to, my inspector's there to find out the really big things. But if I make an offer, I'm going to close. Or whatever, you've already sensed out. Right now, there's a lot of competition. So this is very similar to the conversation you'll be having to do that rapport building. Now, there's many reasons why agents will do this, and it's very ethical. I mean, I know that I love to work with strong buyers, and I like to be in control because there's nothing worse than being an agent or a seller not knowing why the lender's not performing in the last 2 or 3 days when the closing is supposed to happen, the money's supposed to show up in escrow, and it's not there, and your clients already need the money to move into a new house or get that RV to travel around the country, whatever they're doing with the money, and all of a sudden the money's not there. I mean, that is horrible. And the whole time, of course, the lender's been telling you everything's great. The realtor on the other side is telling you everything's great. And if you're talking to the buyer, you're probably not if they have a realtor, but they're telling you everything's great. And then all of a sudden, and you don't believe any of it the whole time as a listing agent because you've been lied to so many times by mortgage guys and gals that you're never comfortable telling your client, yeah, go ahead, move out. It is a done deal, or it's as close to done as I know. I'm always like, well, I don't trust the lenders. Too many times they do a quality check at the last minute and we don't know. And they haven't shared any of this data with us. I don't know that they kept going back to the buyer and saying, hey, we're having a problem. Can you prove this? Can you prove that? We're not aware. So I tell my seller, hey, if I'm representing the buyer, I'm going to let the buyer, in exchange for having a chance to be the winning bidder, the buyer's going to they're going to share their mortgage situation with you so you can make the proper plans too, or whatever it takes, right? So that's what happens behind the scenes. That's why the listing agent is, of course, going to lean towards their own buyers in addition to the double compensation or further compensation. Like you might be able to negotiate some of that away, but the compensation makes sellers, listing agents work harder too. And when you get a really great property, put it this way, I know when I have a really good property and it's over improved for the market, but we're coming in just a little bit above what maybe fair market value would say it is, I know I'm going to get plenty of strong buyers contacting me and asking me to represent them. It's just, it's an experience. The properties that show well, the properties with great views, the fixer-upper properties, because everyone's interested right now in fixer-uppers. You're going to get the calls from the professional buyers. It's the houses, the leftover houses really are the ones that the buyer's agents can purchase. And those are the ones where there may even be some negotiating on price, and more people feel comfortable working with buyer's agents, so you might not double side that. But you got a great property, you're going to double side it. It's just historically the case. I mean, if you've got experience over time, ahead of time. And then you might be pleasantly surprised. The other ones, you still get contacted by buyers. If you do good marketing, you'll get contacted by buyers. Now, here's one of the reasons why some more reasons why you want to go. Why should you work with a listing agent? One, if you're in a multiple offer situation, they're going to know where the other pricing is and what you need to do to be a stronger offer. It might not always be the best price, but it might be other terms. And that agent's going to know. And if you're working with them and they have reasonable communication with the seller, you're going to know how to be the winning bidder if you want to be. I mean, someone might outbid you by 50 grand and you're like, that's too much, I'm out. But within reason, you're going to have a leg up. Two, they can recommend you and say, I prefer these people even if they bid a little less. Three, and this is one, I'm only the only person I've ever talked about it, but it's because I've seen it happen so many times. We'll have taken in multiple offers. My clients will be looking at it all weekend. When you have multiple offers, your clients aren't really in a rush. They're like, well, maybe we'll get more. So the smarter ones are like, hey, why am I rushing? I've already got 5 good ones. Maybe I'll get better. So they're out playing golf, going to the kids' baseball games or dance practice, and they're feeling good about stuff and thinking, hey, isn't this great? I got multiple offers on my property. And more offers are coming in. And they're like, yeah, I got rewarded by waiting. And then they wait again for a few more days. And offers keep coming in, which is why you should never sell the first weekend in this market. That's one of the major mistakes listing agents make. You should say, we'll be selling next weekend. Come see the property, make some offers. We'll talk to everybody on Sunday. I have other training on that. Okay, but anyway, so the offer comes in. And then at some point, as an agent, and you're working with the buyer, you tell the buyers, hey, we've got 6 or 7 offers. Yours is the best offer right now. Or maybe they're not. And you're like, well, I already know that these people have just come in stronger than you and they're pretty good. And the agent's like, well, how do I get this property? And, I'm like, well, you can just keep making offers and outbidding people, or you can make a final and best. And sometimes people are like, well, tell your seller, this is probably my last offer because I'm on the edge, and I'd really like them to have it signed by the end of the day. And then, I can take it to the clients, and if the clients say, okay, we're done, this is good enough, let's do it. You like these guys. Sometimes I want to work with you. The agent, I want to work with your client, John, because you've done such a good job. You brought in multiple offers for us. So I'm like, great. So are we ready to wrap this up? And if they say yes, I can send out electronic signatures and get them signed concurrently, and it's over. If I'm working with a buyer who then has to get his client, draft a contract, get his clients to sign it, get it over to me, then I got to get it to my clients. I've got that same issue again, really. Like, we got baseball practice tonight. I got work in the morning. I'll sign it tomorrow night. It's just the way it is, right? So if you want a property that's in demand, you really need to be working with the listing agent, period. So the next step is, well, I think we may have already covered it to some degree, but you go through the 3 questions: the competition, how did you determine the pricing? If I really want to be the winning offer, what will it take? And you've already developed a rapport. You're using this as an opportunity to say how serious you are about the property. So this is the part. This is why I'm offering the personal training. There's going to be. I've already tried to draft out the decision trees. It just gets longer and longer. It's probably better if you're able to come. Well, it's okay. Let me give you an idea. Some of you are already going to get this and run with it. At some point, you're going to find that you've just called on a property and there's 6 offers in there, and the listings agent is already representing 2 or 3 of them, and you're going to say, "Hey, what is it going to take for me to be the winning offer on this one if you're representing me?" And you might say, "Well, and the agent, well, if I was representing you," and you're like, "Say, well, look, I'm currently working with a buyer's agent or referral service. Do you think, I can negotiate with them? If you were representing me, would you pay them X, 50%, $2,000, $1,000, whatever it is, and then, or just you could offer them your entire commission to be the winner." So you've got to decide while you're on the phone, that first day, you're talking to the listing agent. Like, let's say he's got 5 offers and they're looking at them right now. You're like, say, well, if we can see this tomorrow evening and we make an offer through you, can you make sure the seller takes a look at my offer? In fact, you can tell the seller, we're going to make this offer and we plan to be the winning bidder. We'll overpay. Just give us time to see the property. I mean, you can do all that. But at that point, you're sort of surrendering all your leverage to the listing agent, which is okay if it's your dream home. Now, let's say you find out that there's 1 or 2 offers, but they're not that strong, and you're willing to be the winner, and you just want to get this closed down quickly, so you want to go see the property, have an offer made, and have, give the seller 24 hours or less to respond and get it done. You might be in the position where the listing agent is happy to bring in a strong offer and would be happy to represent you, but you say, hey, look, I'm currently working with, in this case, it would be me, or it could be your cousin or somebody else. You say, currently working with John. He's kind of flexible. Do you think you could have pay him a 50% commission in the buyer's agent? So you'll get the listing agent commission and 50% more because you're representing me. You think we could wrap this up and get this thing done this weekend if I like the property in this price range? So there you've just saved 50% of the commission. Well, you'll have it to me, and we'll negotiate a split of that amount of money. So you might have put 25% of the buy. Well, I mean, it depends. You might say 75%. I mean, that's the point. You can share the listing agent, the commission with me, and you can therefore have me working in the background with you, reviewing it as a lawyer and everything else, and then sharing the commission. You could also, well, we'll go more into the training. Basically, later on, I'm going to make an offer to you about a concept I've developed. No one else has this name. We have a revocable agency relationship, which means at any time you can leverage the fact you're working with me either as a referral agent, a referral company, or an actual buyer's agent. You can, if you're in California, if you're buying a home in California, you can leverage the fact and then work out your deal right then and there. And if you don't want to pay me anything further, you can work out the entire transaction yourself, and we'll have training over time, but that's not in the course already. But if you have some questions, we'll get that done, and I'll help you do it to some extent. I'm not going to review contracts because the price is going to be so low, you're going to see. But I will be there if you want to bring me in supplementally. Here's the deal. If you, right now, because I do not have this course ready, I'm going to work with you in group setting, but it'll be similar. I'm not going to stop until you get your questions answered. We'll have group coaching for 6 weeks, and then you'll get replays on those group coaching. It may go on if we keep bringing in clients until I've written the course. As long as it's going on, you can attend. But I will work with everybody who signs up for this while you're seeing this video in 6 weekly sessions. Plus, you can send me texts or emails or even some phone calls. I prefer to record them all though, because I want it to be recorded. One, because I'm an attorney, and two, because there'll be training for future programs. We'll do the training. We'll do the revocable agency. So we'll put that in writing. But you can cancel the agency at any time. All you have to do is send me a text and say that it's canceled. And I want that just for closure. I'm not, unless you ask me to call them up and negotiate and negotiate a commission, I'm not expecting any part of your commission. That'll be entirely up to you. You can leverage the revocable agency I give you. So you'll get the revocable agency, you'll get the group coaching, and you'll have access to some texts or some calls or some questions. Really for just see the price below. It's going to be really, really, really low. The course is going to be $997 is how I envision it. My share of the referral fee is normally 50%, but I might reduce it for people in the course to some extent. But right now you're going to get it. Instead of getting a course, you're going to actually have my helping you in the training. We're going to do this until everyone gets it right. So thanks, John McConnin. I will talk to you later. Go to buyeragentbypass.com.